Hello, my name is Voya and welcome to My Deep Guide. Well, today we are checking out the Mobiscribe Wave. I really liked the Mobiscribe Origin. Was it a perfect device? Absolutely not. As a reader, it had and it still has quite a bit of issues, but it has come quite a long way because the initial release was fairly kind of, but they managed to tighten it up and they have some really cool unique features. And as a writer, the Origin was a really good and cool device. So the Wave is a slightly bigger iteration of this one, and it takes a couple of different things and takes us at 7.8 inches. So let's unbox it and see what the first impressions of the Mobiscribe Wave are. And here it is, Mobiscribe Wave. This is the black and white edition, and I'm really excited to actually see what they bring to the table this time, because Mobiscribe Origin was a very and still is quite an interesting device, and something that it just makes sense for those who wanted to kind of write. It was and it is a unique type of a design and application and things like that. Sure, there are issues, and definitely as a reader it has quite a few issues, but as a writing kind of device, the format and everything, the speed, it just worked really well, and it works really well. So I'm very much excited to see what Wave will bring to the table, especially because it's of a larger format, 7.8 inch, which is really good for writing, like properly good for writing. So it's going to be interesting to see where are they actually taking where Mobiscribe is taking their direction towards. So let's open it up and see what we get inside. All right, so here is the Wave. Cool, like a grown-up, a lot heavier than the Mobiscribe, but definitely a big brother. Cool. Get the Mobiscribe pen, which seems to be the same pen as before, which is definitely not a bad thing at all, because this is an excellent pen. This is a really good pen. You get an eraser, you get an excellent felt tip nib, and it just holds in the hand so good. It's one of my favorite pens for sure. So great thing to see here included with the Wave. Get a quick start guide with some stuff. Let's see if there's something interesting here. I'll check that later. You get 3 extra nibs and the nib extraction tool, and you get a very cheap and poor looking USB-C cable. Yeah. So in the package you get the device, you get the stylus, you get 3 extra nibs, nib extraction tool, quick start guide, and a USB-C cable. Yes, it's cheap, but if that actually saves the price of the total package, then why not? Because everybody has a USB-C cable, plus it'll just work. So why inflate the price of the overall package with a simple thing like this? So even though it is super cheap, I'm not actually necessarily against this. All right, let's focus on the device and let's get rid of the screen protective foil to see what do we actually have here. And right off the bat, absolutely awesome reflectivity performance of the screen. Really good reflections here. Let's see how does it compare with the Mobiscribe Origin. Well, the Origin is a lot more used and older, but as you can see, very similar type of performance indeed. So let's check out the device here. Well, it's blue. I like the blue here, and we have the Wave on the back and the Mobiscribe. It's a very nice blue. This is a nice touch. This is a very nice ergonomic touch, because somebody again was paying attention here. There's a reason for this, because if you're using it like this as a reader, this little difference here, this little indentation, that actually is there for a reason. This is not just a purely visual design type of look. No. this feels really good. So this is really, really cool. And the color I actually like a lot because it offers a super cool contrast between the grayscale here, which again, they're trying to match the screen grayscale. It's a bit brighter, but it's a bit more silvery. I think they managed a bit better here in the origin, but it still works. I think that works really well. And plus, this is the preference that I have for all of the writing and reading devices, so that you don't have a contrast between these two. So, oh, there are some changes because at the top, we have a very nice little speaker mesh. It looks like it's a speaker mesh. Then we have an LED. And on the top, yes, we did not lose the dedicated front light button. Really, really cool to see that. So you have a front light button, you have a power button. On the bottom, we got a USB-C for data communication. No more SD card slot because Wave is actually submersible. It's a waterproof device and nothing on the other side either. So does it have a microphone? I guess not. Yes, maybe. I don't know if this is a speaker. I don't know what that is. We'll see. As far as the screen goes, we have, like on the origin, you have a tiny indentation here, which is something that I don't really mind when it's this small. It doesn't matter and really does not interfere with the touch operation with the screens. It did not interfere with the smaller format of the origin, and I imagine that it will not pose a problem on the Wave either. So my overall impression of the design and the actual look and the build quality of the Wave is very, very positive, because these are small differences and they kept what worked and they just innovated a little bit and yeah, paid attention to it. And it's a simple thing like this that actually makes a device basically differentiate itself from others. So very, very positive first impressions as far as the design and the build quality and the ergonomics of the Mobiscribe Wave. All right, let's do the first power up and do just a first impressions test of what I can. So if there's a document, I'm gonna try and check out the document here, but mostly I'll be focusing on just checking out how the responsiveness of the system is, taking a few notes just to see an impression of how the writing is. And that's pretty much it, because the whole point of this is to unbox it, give you my first impression, and yeah, continue basically onwards to test the device so that I can bring you a in-depth review where I'm going to be testing all of it. My goodness, it's almost empty. Okay, and this is super, super bright, so that's maximum front light. Okay, and there we go. So we have front light off, and we have the color temperature cold, or super warm, or somewhere in between. Okay, there's some ghosting issues here, which is going to be interesting to see, and the control is fairly steppy with the intensity. It goes to really, really high levels. I'm not sure why it would need that high levels, but that's that. And the front light button turns the front light on or off. All right, these are very bright conditions, so I really don't need the front light at all. Actually, let's just keep it a little bit on so that it's nice. This is a very similar and familiar interface. Basically, it's exactly the same what we had on the origin as well, which is a good thing, because yeah, then if you're upgrading from the origin, it's going to be definitely a familiar affair here. So all of this looks pretty good. Let's see what we have in tools. We got files, images, and Mobi Store. I'm going to be checking that out. Do we have a pre-packed book of some sort that I can test? No, it's empty. So we won't be able to test out the reader side of things. And again, the reader is not the strong point of the Mobiscribe OS. So this is primarily a note-taking device. And yes, you can do it as a EPUB reader, but if you want like documents handling and marking up of documents and things like that, it never really got to a super stable and great point on the origin, and I honestly, sincerely don't expect it to be in any better state here, especially since this is just a fresh release. So, but we'll see when the in-depth review comes. So let's create a note. There we go. Let's do a cover is going to be, or this is kind of cool. And the page itself is going to be a normal lined without anything else. Why not? Okay, I have to go further. Tons of templates to choose from, and you can upload your own custom templates. And yeah, lots and lots to choose from here. So I'm just gonna go with this one, and let's name it something. Let's see how responsive the keyboard is. First, notebook. Pretty straightforward and pretty correct. I want it to be in portrait direction, and that's pretty much it. So let's create it. All right, so it created my notebook. And it's again the same type of interface here, except that we have some colors here, which is kind of interesting as well. The thickness is at 2, and the type of the brush is going to be, yeah, a pencil. Okay, we can try and do the pencil. So let's do a test, right? All right, that was a very thin pen indeed. So maybe I should try a different pencil here with a bit more thickness. Yeah, that was the thinnest. So this is an ink pen. And I gotta say that the latency feels exceptionally fast and good. I think it might actually be faster than the Origin. And I'm pretty sure that this is Carta Mobis flexible screen, and that this is a plastic surface. And again, like when I talked about with the Tab X, I really do prefer a plastic surface to write on because of that flex, because of that give that it has, as opposed to a hard surface like the glass, which simply will not budge, and you just always will feel that through the nib and when you're actually writing. So the first impression here with the does it actually have some? No, that's just the pressure, but look at how sensitive that pressure is. That's one of the things that I really love about this pen and the device. Look. No other device has this calibration. It's so well made. I mean, what's the point of other devices having 4096 levels of pressure sensitivity if the software is not actually utilizing it all? So this is, let's go to the next page. This is me writing with max thickness, and the only thing that I changed here was actually the pressure itself, and it's fully controllable, something that feels normal and natural. And that's just one of the things that I really love about the Mobiscribe environment and the notebook when actually writing and drawing and sketching. So I'm really happy to see that this same kind of attributes are retained in the Wave as well, except that now you have a 7.8-inch format, and like bigger real estate, it's easier to handle, and it's something that just works really well. But the overall footprint is not that much bigger than the Origin itself. So it's still very portable, but you get bigger screen real estate, and all of the goodness for the writing that we've had previously. So those are pretty sweet things to kind of see and to have. And I'm really looking forward to actually testing this out furthermore. But as far as the first impressions go, the build quality, I'm very much impressed with the design and the build quality of the Wave. I love the color, and I really love these ergonomic touches here, because when you're holding it here for reading, it's really good. The only thing is that previously Origin didn't really prove itself as an excellent reader, so hopefully that's going to be different on the Wave, so that you can utilize this excellent addition of the ergonomy that was added on the Wave. And I also love how the writing experience is, how it feels, and what it is like on the Wave. So the first impressions for the Wave are very positive indeed, and that also leads me to believe to be actually quite excited about the color version of it that's going to come on spring as well. So I'm going to be ordering that, or I pre-ordered it already, so I'm waiting for it to be released, and then when that comes out, then I'm going to bring that to you, and then we'll be able to compare the two. So yeah, but overall pretty cool. Well, all right, the Mobiscribe Wave, the lovely blue. I just love that blue. It's so pretty. Really cool. Yeah, the first impressions are very positive as far as the build quality, the design, and where they are taking the device itself. As far as the OS goes, well, I haven't seen any real changes right out of the gate from when I compare it with the Origin. So I assume that you should be able to enable the Google Play if you go into the settings and stuff like that, because that was one of the updates in the Origin. So Wave should be able to support that as well. The writing latency and the writing feel is exceptionally good. So the same thing as with what we had on Origin. So that's a really nice thing to see, that the strong points remain strong, seemingly remain strong on the Wave as well, but in a bigger format and with that cool little blue thing. But what remains to be seen is basically our defaults and the shortcomings that we had in Mobiscribe Origin. Has the Wave inherited them as well or not? So that's something that will be determined when I go with the device through all of the series of testing and usage and over all of that kind of stuff. And all of that is going to be brought to you in the in-depth review of the Mobiscribe Wave, maybe in about a week or two or so, because there's like tons of content to go through, but it's definitely something that I'm going to be prioritizing for sure. I hope you liked the video, and I hope that you enjoyed the content on and found it usable or informative or something like that. If you did, please do subscribe and like the video. It does help the channel quite a lot. And also, if you do like the work that I do, please do check out the mydeepguide.com/shop and check out the My Daily Organizer, which is a hyperlinked PDF file that satisfies most of your yearly, quarterly, monthly, weekly, daily, private or professional needs, and it's something that is helping thousands of people worldwide throughout all sorts of different industries. So check out also the MDO playlist. You can find the description in this. You can find the link in the description down below as well, to see if MDO is a product that might suit your needs or not. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, and see you in the next video. Bye.